Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camper Report Show, Bob, I'm going to talk to a fascinating person. She is the self-proclaimed flipping nomad. That's her title, not mine, that I gave her. She is going to take us inside a one-of-a-kind Montana by Keystone, the only one ever built. But better than that, she's going to show us how we can have one of those just like hers. How about yourself?
I've got a brand manager, which is a new title for William Miller at Heartland RVs, and he represents Heartland Cruiser RV and DRV Suites, and it's got a unique position that deals directly with the consumers and informs consumers about products and services. It's going to be a very enlightening interview.
Yep, they're great brands, and we'll be back with those two stories and all the news of the day right here. Where, Bob?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everybody. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. My name is John DePietro, along with Bob Zagami. And Bob, you know, one of the big things that has kind of exploded in the last few years with so many brand new RVers out there that have hit the road since this COVID thing took place is RV clubs. And one of the fastest growing ones is the Escapees. And they just announced a wide increase in benefits that you get when you join them. Now, we should say they're not a sponsor and we get nothing from it, but we felt that this was so important that we had to share it with our viewers and talk about some of those benefits that you get when you join this club that's based in Texas.
They've got roadside service, they've got tire purchases, they've got some one of the ones that they get as a member of Escapees is a membership with RV Life, which is our parent network. So yeah. Roadside, maintaining the RV trip visit, certain ways, anything that you can do to improve the RVing experience. They got programs with Michelin and BF Goodrich on tires. They have really taken a big step forward the last couple of years on building out their membership. And of course, you go back 5 or 6 years ago, they had the Escapers, which was the younger version, people still working, but they wanted to be part of a group and an alliance. And they have done probably the best job of building out a very large organization for people with multiple disciplines. So they don't just settle in on the people who are retired and full-time on their own.
Yeah, it's much more of a diverse.
Right.
They recognize much more of a diverse body of people.
Much younger want these types of services and that kind of camaraderie also.
Yep. And, you know, the interesting thing is they're taking RVers and, you know, they have a lot of different programs with, you know, that were already existing, but these new ones with gas, with tires, with finding your way around with RV Life and RV Trip Wizard, they're really giving you one-stop shopping when it comes to the organization that you want to belong with. And, you know, we want to wish them well as they move forward to the next year and start promoting those new programs. And we'll put the address down below where people can look to see if they have an interest in it. Now, another program for first-time RVers and getting people into RVing lifestyle is their very successful program called Go RVing, and they have made an announcement of expanded offerings there. Talk about that, would you?
Well, in the post-COVID environment, you know, we had 12, 18 months where you really couldn't do a whole lot. You couldn't go out and shoot new videos. You couldn't have meetings and the like. So the program needed a refresh, and they just recently finished up a big, large shoot of several new videos that are going to be on the Go RVing, part of the Go RVing First Timers Toolkit. And so they've expanded the content about 300%. And geared specifically towards that first-time buyer that we know accounted for 50% of the new vehicles purchased, new RVs purchased this year, which is going to top out at over 600,000 vehicles. So where do these people go? Well, they're going to be able to go to GoRVing.com and see and watch all the videos and the instructional, everything from minor repairs to trip planning ideas and suggestions, renting RVs, buying RVs, understanding dealers. it's a major step forward in a 20+ year program that has provided incredible education and consumer interest stories.
Exactly. And as so many people are looking at RVing for the first time, it's their responsibility now to keep them in the RVing fold and not them have any opportunity to leave disappointed. So between the Camper Report Show, between Escapees, and between Go RVing, you've got really everything you need to enjoy your RVing experience. We want to let you know that we find out about programs like this because we subscribe to RV Business and Woodall's Campground Magazine, and suggest that if you've got any questions on anything to do with RVing, look to those publications. And Bob, why don't you say, stay with us. We'll be right back. Go ahead.
Oh, good. Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the
Camper Report Show.
Mike from RV Blogger here. Did you know that every trip that you plan in RV Trip Wizard automatically uploads into the GPS in the RV Life app on your phone? Just click the RV Life app, click the hamburger on the bottom, go to RV Trip Wizard. Your trips all populate. Pick the one you want, and then click the directions to the first campground. Click your RV friendly directions, and you're on your way from where you are to the campground where you want to be.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, to the Camper Report Show. And I've got a special guest today, Will Miller. We call him Willie, we call him Will, we call him William. William, welcome to the Camper Report Show. And I'm really interested in hearing what you're doing over there at Heartland.
Thank you so much, Bob, for having me.
All right. So your title is Brand Manager. And I've been watching your development since you joined Heartland, and the way that you're approaching education to the consumer directly. It's not brand specific in many cases. It is the things that campers talk about around the campfire or when they call their buddies, and stuff that perhaps we should have taught them during the PDI, stuff that maybe should be in books, but they don't know where to get it. Tell me how you came up with the idea.
Well, I can't take credit. My previous experience, I used to work for a Japanese global manufacturer called Kogane. We specialized in automation, advanced robotics, where quality was non-negotiable, and things had to work, and you really couldn't sell. It had to perform. So we did things like 6 months of durability testing before it would get spec'd or selected as a supplier to, some of these big industries like automotive, aerospace, medical device. And I was approached by Ryan Jude, who is the president of Heartland Cruiser and DRV. And, the conversation was rather unique because he says, "Hey, I want to bring you in as our national brand manager." I said, "Okay, well, what does that mean?" He says, I don't know yet. And, through our conversation, we kind of talked about what the past has always been. And every year we see, a saturation within the marketplace of new brands coming on, a lot more noise, a lot more floor plans. And there just seemed to be this growth. And I give credit to him, our leadership, all the way up to Bob Martin and Chris Herman. These guys, obviously they've been in the industry a long time, them. And I've really grown to appreciate their leadership and basically talk about, where they started, where we started in the past, where we are today, to kind of set my compass of, okay, how's Willie going to do things differently to boost engagement? So really, this role for me is 3 buckets, as I call it. We sell through a channel to market, which is dealer network. Okay, so we have dealers coast to coast. We have an end customer that's buying our finished product. Okay, that's bucket number 2. And then we also have a cohesiveness or an opportunity of communication and information for the people that are buying our product. So because I came from the outside looking in, I look at this from a pragmatic approach, no different than if I go to Best Buy and I want to buy an oven. I'm not going to rely on Peter's son who just woke up and say, "Hey, I have $2,000. What should I buy?" I'm going to do some research on my own. And as well as I do, as we've talked in the past, the internet has exposed that need for information without sales. So as I stepped in here 14 months ago, I quickly saw that no matter the brand, whether it's within our Thor portfolio Forest River, Winnebago. There just seemed to be a lot of, and I mean no disrespect, but a lot of noise. Hey, this is our new floor plan. But what about how to hook up the Wi-Fi? Crickets. What about, doing the maintenance? These are, 30, 40, 80, $200,000 units. There's a lot of information, and maybe within this new role of mine, as it's constantly evolving, focusing on the voice of the customer, not coming back with a right hook or a sell, just, Will, we really just need this information. Okay, we'll work on getting that. And then, as you know, it's a big ship, so it takes a while, but I've already seen so much support from the top down, within our Thor umbrella. And then obviously with Ryan pushing me to continue, engaging. I've been taking flights coast to coast, meeting with our owners, listening to them, not selling to them about, hey, it's time to trade up. It's been, hey, how can your experience when you purchase the finished product that we make be better? And then they give me a list.
Take a step back, because one of the things you talked about was communication. And one of the things that you do very well is the way that you present the topic that you're going to present in your videos. And that may be a Heartland product, it may be a Heartland person, but you've also reached out outside the corporation to people like Jason Lippert, to people like ASA Electronics, because those are components that are found in many rigs. Why is that communication so important in today's marketplace? The things that we did 20 years ago don't count anymore. It's a different customer, it's a different marketplace, it's a different requirement on how we communicate with them.
So with, again, no disrespect to any entity, when I talk to the customer and they say they don't know, nobody told them, there's the natural opportunity. So, I don't know if it's, like I said, been a combination of, focusing on the channel to market rather than the customer. So, for example, I sit and I talk to a dealer. I say, hey, every rep comes in of every brand and manufacturer, and they come in and do their training. What does it consist of? Well, really, it's here's the new floor plan, here's the new features, and here's how to sell it. Well, what about this long list that I have from the customer? They don't know how to hook up the Wi-Fi. Yeah, well, they can go to Weingart or something. So I'm trying to bridge that connection because the internet now gives them direct access to us or any brand, really. They see a lot of value in, hey, I can watch this video. Willie's not selling. He's sitting with, an engineer from Lippert, and they're explaining how to do the maintenance after the purchase. And they didn't even have to buy a Heartland product. So I'm starting to create value in the marketplace because I'm giving them the information that they have wanted, and the channel to market has not given it to them.
That's a great point, because the customers are much more educated. They know they can go to the web. Now, you've only, like you say, you've been at this 14 months, but you're getting a lot of attention in the industry, both from the manufacturers themselves, from the suppliers, but also from the consumers. Because one of the problems that we have, and any industry has today, because of the availability of information over the internet, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's right. And many times it's wrong. So you're providing a credible source of information, and you're building up your own reputation and your own following. What are the consumers saying about this? Because we have a tremendous fan base, and it's mostly consumers on here, but we have a lot of industry people that watch the show. What are you hearing back from the consumers?
The biggest thing that I'm hearing, honestly, is, Will, thank you. You're listening. It's going to take a lot of time. And by no means is my efforts, am I looking for an ROI? I'm simply trying to fill the gap. And what's happening is more and more people are coming to me with just feedback. Hey, these videos were great with Lippert. Can you talk to ASA? Can you talk to Dexter? Can you talk to Moride? And I think the biggest difference, Bob, is, being authentic. I cannot pretend to be an expert with, a Moride independent suspension. They make it. They should explain to the consumer how it works, how to do the maintenance. And so for me, I'm just, like I said, rather than me try to do it, I'm bringing them in. So it's instant validation because it's not coming from my mouth, it's coming from the manufacturer. So I think that's starting a trend. And really, reaching out to you, reaching out to, our partner dealers. And I keep saying to them, what's going to change in 2022? It's going to be about the same as this year, because I'm not talking forecast. I'm talking how we do business. Bob, I had been asked, Will, what if you ever left Humphrey or Heartland and went and worked for another brand? Nothing would be no different. If I became a sales rep, you know what happens? Hey, there's Will, another guy with energy and gel in his hair, but he's still following that same system, focused on his dealer network, the channel to market, the training, et cetera. But there's not anyone filling that gap. And that's where, again, I go back to being humbled and giving Ryan Jude a lot of credit to see we need somebody that's going to be in this role and that's going to be providing that information that the consumers need. Because to your point, these are $40, $80, $200,000 investments.
What I like about what you're doing is you don't necessarily have a roadmap. You can't say where you're going to be or what you're going to do in the next 12 months. It's really going to be driven by the consumer. So everything that you're doing is from a standpoint of what does the consumer need, what does the consumer want, or how can we deliver better information to the consumer themselves. But put your magic hat on, and if you look out there 12 months, what type of objectives do you have for yourself? Because you're obviously self-driven. You've got a passion about what you're doing. People pick up on that. They can see your enthusiasm. Where do you want this program to be 12 months out?
Ideally, my hope at the industry, whether it's stigma, attitude, that, hey, the manufacturer doesn't care. That's wrong. Now, one thing that I have said, and I've posted about it, and you've seen it, I tell people all the time, don't confuse effort with results. If the results are falling short, it doesn't matter how many hours I put in. For me, my motivation is I want to listen. I want to follow through, because that's how you earn trust. You can't BS anybody. The internet has made us all vulnerable to be seen. So I have to be authentic. I have to be me, and I have to be consistent. How many times that we've seen in our own experiences, no matter what consumable product we buy, sounds good, we'll see if it sustains. Great idea, we'll see if they follow through. So I do not want to be that. I want to be that person that does follow through. And if I can make a small bit of progress in a year or two from now, where all of a sudden people say, hey, you know what, there's still a lot of opportunity in the RV business, but there's a lot more communication, there's a lot more information, there's a lot more transparency. So those three things, if I can help improve those three things, then I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yep. And, one of the things I talk about a lot, and I think it's true, but our industry can grow even faster if we manage the customer's expectations. Don't build it up to be something that it's not. Explain the product that we sell, build them better, support them better, communicate what we want the customer to know, what they need to know to have a good RVing experience, listen to them, and then produce. Because to your point, if we don't have the results, then it's a wasted effort, it's wasted time. Our guest this morning has been Will Miller, and Will is the brand manager for Heartland DRV and Cruiser RV, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna have you back in about a year, Will. We're gonna see how you're doing on this program, but we really appreciate you coming on. But I really appreciate the effort that you're putting into changing some of the dynamics of our industry.
Thank you so much, Bob.
I'm Jesse from Outsiders Calling, and I love adventurous family travel with my wife Jenny and our son Tucker.
For over 3 years, we've RV'd across the U.S. and Mexico, and it's tough to find places that meet all our needs.
Now we plan our trips with the RV Trip Wizard, pull it up in the RV Life app, select it, and go.
It helps us discover amazing new places to grow together as a family.
RV Trip Wizard with the RV Life app is an awesome trip planning combination.
You can get both for one low annual price. Check out rvlife.com to learn more.
One aspect of the RV life that you come across are interesting RVers. And to say that this young lady is an interesting RVer is probably the understatement of the year.
Yes.
Courtney from
The Flipping Nomad. Yes. So my name is Courtney. My business is The Flipping Nomad. And we take pre-loved RVs, also known as used RVs, and we do a cosmetic gut job on them, and they come out looking like beautiful tiny homes when they're done. But the one that I am standing in front of right now is kind of a special case. So we actually teamed up with Keystone RV to build this particular one. So this is the Ultimate Montana. It's kind of like a concept RV, a lot like a concept car of the automotive industry. There'll never be another one. It's very impractical in a lot of ways, never meant for mass production. But out here, I'll give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
We've got a tray out the very back of it. Maybe we can peek that real quick. It's kind of, this rig's 40 feet long, so it's hard to get.
And you drive it, Courtney?
I do. I tow it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got the rear tray back here. It has an integrated kitchen from Dometic, a Traeger smoker, and a pizza oven. And then we've got the outdoor stereo system here.
You know the rule of filming is that as soon as you start,
yes, something's gonna happen.
a John Deere tractor without a muffler would go by.
Exactly. And then back up here, More Ride. Oh, we had another one going by. More Ride custom built this tray for us, and then we outfitted it with a custom kegerator from Dometic, margarita machine, wine chiller, and then a TV as well.
Okay.
But this is just the appetizer. So why don't you come inside?
Let's go inside
and see the main one.
And you live in this?
I do.
Okay.
So here it is. This is the concept RV essentially.
Is that a mirror? Is that a real room or is that a mirror?
It's all in your imagination.
That is a real room. I didn't think it went that far.
It is, yeah. So the only thing Keystone asked for out of this whole project was the wow factor. They said we want something that has never been seen before, and I think it was mission accomplished.
I just came out of a totally white kitchen.
Now it's a totally black.
Totally
and that's
black
why we
kitchen.
That's why we went black, because all of our kitchens until this rig had been white, and they were all white and bright and very open, and so that's why we went black, was to do something different.
And since this is a private coach,
yes,
you don't want anybody stealing your beer.
Right, exactly.
You don't have a beer sponsor yet, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That is one thing we're missing.
Because you got the kegerator
Right,
out there.
exactly.
Okay,
So this was a custom-built stove, special for this RV. Suburban, we sent them one of these gold knobs, and then they matched. They did a color match here. And then this is the dining area, and it's on drawer glide, so it slides under the fireplace, and then that allows the kitchen slide to come in. And then you come up
okay,
here,
yeah. That slides in, okay.
Yep. So this guy right here, actually if you come stand this way, if you look into the kitchen, you can see it a lot better. This is an ultrasonic water vapor fireplace. So what you are seeing is water vapor illuminated by light bulbs. So you can actually touch it.
And not get burnt.
Exactly.
I saw that when I came in.
Yeah, we've got the projector down here, and it shoots to the screen against the back wall.
Okay. As hooked up to a television or a computer,
so
you
it has all of the connections, so HDMI, USB, wireless, all the things. So then coming back down this way, all of this furniture up here was custom built by Lippert.
And this is the rear end.
Correct.
This is not the front end. It looks like the rear. So you lifted this for storage in order to get.
So actually, this is a standard floor plan from Keystone.
Okay.
It's a 37.
Front living room.
Rear living actually. This
rear.
is the back.
Okay, we're in the rear.
Yeah, so it's a 3791 RD.
Okay.
And then this is normally the dinette here.
No carpeting here.
Correct. Yeah, but we took the dinette out and put in an office.
Okay, on the slide.
And then I'm going to let you go ahead and go up front and look at
How far
the
am I
bathroom.
going?
Just the bathroom on the
Bathroom's right
left-hand
there.
side of the room. That's kind of the star of the show.
The bathroom is the star of the show. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. It certainly is. Wow.
So
wow.
I've been
Is that on a slide? We on a slide?
Nope, it's standard, stationary.
So not something that you see. I've never seen all those balloons before. That's.
You like the balloons?
Yeah, the balloons.
That's a good touch, right?
So something totally different. Obviously aimed at the female touch.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
so I've been a full-timer for 7 years, and one thing that I really missed is just having access to a bathtub. And so I said that is one of our biggest priorities of this build.
This is a shower, not
Yeah.
just lighting.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a shower head.
Shower,
There's a
shower.
shower head there, and then there's a bathtub filling faucet over here on the right.
And the bath works. It's not just
Yep.
for looks.
Oh yeah, right. So here's the, and then this is another one of those ultrasonic water vapor fireplaces.
Okay. So you had a budget, or you just said, I'm going to do whatever I want?
We had a budget, but we also had a lot of sponsors too. So it was definitely a group effort between us and Keystone and a whole list of sponsors.
And the private sleeping area is up there.
Correct. Yeah, this is the bedroom up here.
Keep that
but we-
private, because you got all junk in there.
Right,
anyway,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's
exactly.
our dressing room up there. Yeah.
White walls, painted walls?
Yep, everything's painted. Yeah, these are standard surfaces, RV surfaces, and we just painted over them.
Okay, so what would you say to the person who wants to emulate some of the stuff that you've done? Was it a difficult chore, or
It was.
can it be done?
No, it can definitely be done. But one thing that people think is that because these are such small spaces that they're easy to work on and it goes fast, and that's not the case. So what I always tell our clients is, or our students rather, people that are doing their own RVs, is whatever you think your budget and your time frame is going to be, you need to double your budget and triple your amount of time. And then
Double your money and triple your
triple
time.
your amount of time, and then that will be a pretty accurate ballpark of where you're going to land.
Are you giving lessons? Have you written a book? What is your
So we
financial end of it?
until now, so we have 1,700 people on our waiting list for a custom rig, which is the biggest blessing and curse both at the same time. And so in the past, we've operated just like a standard construction company, and so that's how we have monetized and brought in revenue. But with now with so many people, we can't service everybody. So we're kind of transitioning more into an education company.
Okay.
And we are teaching people how to do this. So we have, we just launched our first self-paced course. And so
Is that it there, the RV renovation
Yeah,
course?
RV renovation course here. And maybe we can show the camera. This is more what a standard before and after looks like.
Okay.
And
Drab
then
to fab.
Drab to fab, exactly.
Well, somebody's already using that.
Drab to fab, yes, yeah, that's
I
what
think
used.
the RV Women's Alliance.
Yes, they did
doing
use that. And Girl Camper uses Factory to Fabulous. But yeah, we teach that. And so you can, the course currently, September of 2021, it's in beta version right now. But if you join it at this point, you'll have lifetime access to it. And then we also teach, we have a beginner's boot camp class that we do where it's just like basic RV structure things. And we really encourage people to go through that class first so they can understand what a roof structure is like and what a wall structure is like and how standard things just operate within the RV before they jump in and start making changes.
And there is differences between a stick-built house and an RV.
Yes, yes.
question
And there's
there.
even differences between a stick and tin RV and a laminated RV.
And is this a gender-based course that you have to be female, or are you?
No, anybody can join,
Anybody.
but it is a lot a stronger leaning female because I think the interior design aspect
factor.
catches people's attention.
Men
but
don't care.
They don't care, but what people have to be really conscious of is it's not really an interior design project, it's a construction project because these spaces don't build themselves. And
Yeah.
you know, I can spend about 2 hours picking out a tile, but it takes me 3 days to install that tile.
Yep. Okay.
So-
Hey, we want to thank you so much. I know you've got a line of people out here. Where can people find out more? Website and all that stuff?
Yeah, our website is theflippingnomad.com, and then we're also on Instagram at theflippingnomad.
There we go. Thank you so much.